Hi students, in this session we are going to start a new chapter, that is chemical kinetics. Right? Chemical kinetics. See, kinetics itself, this indicates what? In physics you will be learning with respect to kinematics. Here it is with respect to kinetics. Kinetics means it indicates the speed of the reaction. Speed of the reaction, or in terms of chemistry, instead of speed we call it as rate. Rate of a chemical reaction. Okay, speed or rate of a chemical reaction. We will be learning with respect to a speed of the reaction, how much fastly a reaction is occurring in a chemical reaction. Right? This chapter entirely deals with the rate of reaction. Rate of reaction means how much fastly a reaction will occur. Next, the factors affecting rate of reaction. What are the factors that are affecting the rate of the reaction and reaction mechanism? See, this is dealt at micro level, not at macro level. So, generally study at micro level. See, this chapter, entire chemical kinetics, deals with the rate of reaction, means how much fastly a reaction is being occurred. Next is the factors that are affecting the rate of the reaction, and what are the factors that affect the speed of the reaction. On that factors it will be depending. The reaction will be depending on what factors. Next is reaction mechanism. Again, this reaction mechanism or this entire chemical kinetics will be dealt at microscopic level, not at macroscopic level. See, this chapter will not deal with feasibility of reaction. So this chapter will not deal with the feasibility of reaction, whether a reaction will occur or not. This chapter is not going to deal with that. It is going to only deal with the rate. If it is getting occurred, if a reaction is being occurred, then how much fastly it is getting occurred. It deals with how much fastly it is getting occurred. It does not deal with the feasibility of reaction, whether the reaction will occur or not. It is not dealt with. And it does not deal with microscopic level. Okay? Microscopic level or dealt with macroscopic level. Macroscopic level. Only it only deals, this chapter deals with the microscopic level. This chapter will not deal with the macroscopic level. Means with respect to macroscopic level, the feasibility of the reaction are talked with respect to thermodynamics. Getting me? If delta G is negative, then this becomes spontaneous. Means that reaction will occur. That is what it says. And macroscopic level, you may have many properties like pressure, temperature, moles, volume, like this. Okay, enthalpy. These are the factors that dealt with macroscopic level. But these are the things not dealt here. Okay, chemical kinetics deals with only the rate of the reaction. It deals with the factors which are affecting the rate of the reaction, and it is going to deal regarding the mechanism of the reaction. Right? So now let us see the rate of the reaction. How we can write this? The rate of the reaction. See, based on the rate of the reaction, we can classify this entire reactions into three types. One is reactions which occur very fast. The reaction which occurs very fastly within a fraction of seconds. That too generally it will take within 10 power minus 6 seconds. Such type of reactions are called as very fast reactions. Okay? The reactions which occur very spontaneously in a very short time they will occur. Like example, precipitation reaction. PPT reactions we will be calling them as like anything AgNO3 plus NaCl. Okay, what will be getting? AgCl plus NaNO3, right? AgCl plus NaNO3. This will be formed as a precipitate. So such reactions, the reaction which occurs very fast within a fraction of second, you can calculate even the time. That type of reactions are called as very fast reactions. And we go for the second type of reactions that are very slow reactions. These reactions will take a lot of time to get completed, right? So something like precipitation of stone in the water, okay, that takes a lot of amount of time. That comes under the very slow reactions. In general, you can go for reactions like something like dissolving of stone in water or rusting of iron. You know the rusting of iron? Rusting of iron is one of the slowest reactions. It takes years. Years of time will be taken for the completion of the rusting of iron. And you go for the third type of reaction, those are called as moderate type. Moderate type of reaction. See, for this reaction it takes from minutes to hours. This takes years. This takes fraction of seconds. So the reactions which occur very fastly are instantaneously. Those are called as very fast reactions. Example, precipitation reactions, and we can go for ionic reactions also. Many ionic reactions that occur very fastly. Next it is blasting. Blasting reactions which undergoes blasting means they will be broken into some pieces. Right? Blasting reactions, bombardment, all type of reactions they will be going very fastly. And if you go for very slow type reactions, rusting of iron is one example, and dissolving of a stone in water is one more example. It takes some years. And if you go for the moderate type of reactions, the reactions which occur within minutes to the hours. Okay, preparation of glucose in plants. Okay, this is the food for them. Right, this takes some minutes to hours only. You can calculate the time. And the next activity is all chemical reactions like NH3 plus, you can go for the preparation of N2 plus 3H2. It forms ammonia. These are the reactions which occur in the measurable time. So these type of reactions are moderate type of reactions. So we will not deal with respect to these two type of reactions. Very fast reactions, no use of studying. Very slow reactions, they will not occur within a limited time, so that it takes some years. So it is also waste of time studying with respect to this reaction, and waste of time with respect to these reactions also, because you can't calculate the time and you can't stop the reaction because it takes very less amount of time, right? So we will be studying only with respect to the moderate type of reactions in the entire chemical kinetics chapter. Okay, and the way of method of writing the equation. From here we will be getting how to write an equation. Mode of writing the equation. Right. Suppose we take example mode of writing an equation. Let me take a reaction. It is 2A getting converted to product. How to write the rate of reaction for this? Rate is always written for a mole. Rate is always written for a mole, and rate is written as minus 1/2 concentration on changing concentration with respect to changing time. So we are writing minus symbol here. Minus indicates the disappearance. Means while the time is going on, the reaction will be finished and it will be getting converted to product, right? And the product, as the time goes on increasing, what happens to the product? There is the formation of the product. Time goes on increasing, reactant goes on decreasing. Time goes on increasing, products goes on increasing. See, if time increases, reactant decreases. time increases, product concentration increases. Okay? Alright. Reactant, this is the reactant we are writing here on the left side. So that what happens with respect to the increase in the time? It's changing in time. What happens? The reactant goes on decreasing. So it goes on decreasing, so it is minus. And whatever the coefficient is there, we will write it in denominator. Because always we will be writing for mole. For mole of the reactant, we will be writing the rate of the reaction. Let me take one more example like 3A. Okay? Getting the relative product. Write the rate of the reaction. Rate will be equal to minus 1 by 3 change in concentration of A with respect to change in concentration of B. Suppose if there is A plus 2B gives rise to product. How to write the rate? Rate is equal to minus 1 by 1 because the coefficient is 1 change in concentration of A by change in concentration of time, that is equal to, we should make equal to that, right? These two will be equal while going the reaction. How much is coming? That will be coming here. For 1 mole it is half mole, right? So if write it for 1 mole, what should it? Minus 1 by 2 change in concentration of B with respect to the change in concentration of time. So this is the way of the writing. Suppose if I combine both the things like reactant and product, here it doesn't have any product, right? If I write the product here, so 1A plus 2B it gives rise to 3C plus 2D. Okay, if I want to write the rate of reaction for this reaction, so rate is equal to minus 1 by 1 changing concentration of A with respect to the time should be equal to minus 1 by 2 changing concentration of B with respect to time, that will be equal to, here this is product, right? Product will be formed, it will not be disappear, right? So product formation is always plus 1 by 3 change in concentration of C with respect to time is equal to plus 1 by 2 change in concentration of B with respect to change in time. This is what how you will be writing. You take a common equation A, capital A, B, capital B gives rise to C, small c, capital C plus small d, capital D. This is the reaction. For this reaction, you try to write the rate of this particular reaction. So rate, it can be written as, I hope that you can write easily. I have already shown you the pattern. So minus 1 by A change in concentration with respect to A by time, that should be equal to minus 1 by B change in concentration of B with respect to time, that should be equal to plus 1 by small c change in concentration of C with respect to time, that should be equal to change in concentration of B with respect to time. So this is the way of generalized way of writing the rate of the reaction. Okay, we can write in two ways. This is one way. One way of writing the rate of the reaction. Okay, and if you represent it in terms of a graph, see this can be done in one more way. If time is calculated, means 2 seconds to 1 second, means the difference is 1 second. So the change in time is very large. Here some concentration of A from 10 moles per liter to 5 moles per liter, means there is a valuable change. See, the change in concentration is large. So something will be writing initially A1 is something like 5 moles, or you can take as 15 moles. A2 is 10 moles. See, change in A is how much? 10 minus 15 will be like minus 5. Okay? Means there is a valuable change. We can have a definite number. Suppose if the change A1 is 1.005 and A2 is 1.0049. Now what is the change? The change is very small, right? So in that case, instead of representing delta, we will be representing dou. When the concentration is very small change, when there is a change in concentration, when the change in concentration is very small or very minute quantity, then instead of representing delta, we will be representing this as dou, right? So write this equation in terms. It is very easy calculated, means there is a lot of change in the reactant. Suppose if I write that there is a very small change, then how you can write this equation? So rate will be equal to minus 1 by 8 dou concentration of A by T. Small change in time is small change in concentration. That should be equal to minus 1 by V. Dou concentration change in V by time. That should be equal to plus 1 by C. Dou concentration C by concentration change in time plus 1 by V change in concentration of V by with respect to time. So this is the way of writing the equation. Whenever there is a very small change with respect to very small change in time. Okay. So this is the way of writing the equations, rate of the equations for a particular given reaction. Right. Now let me go with respect to the graphs. If I go with respect to the graphs, now let me take here concentration of reactant on y-axis with respect to time. What should happen? At starting point time this is 0, the concentration will be highest. As the time goes on increasing, what happens to the concentration? The concentration goes on increasing like this. Okay? So this is the way of concentration of reactant with respect to the time. Now what happens? The concentration of product with respect to time at starting point it will be 0 only. Why means at starting point we have only reactant, there will be no product concentration. So if the starting point time is 0, product concentration will be 0. As the time goes on, what happens? It goes on increasing. So the concentration of product with respect to time, this manner, the concentration of reactant with respect to time, this is the pattern. The graph can be represented. Right? Now, if you go for the average rate, getting me? Average rate means suppose I am representing a graph like this. Okay? I mentioned 2 points. So at this point, the concentration is 10 moles per liter. At this point, it is 6. Okay? This is time with respect to the reactant concentration. Time this is something like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, in terms of seconds I have mentioned. This is moles per liter. This is the graph he has mentioned. If you ask what is the rate of reaction, how you can do this? Or rate of reaction, this is also called as average rate. So change in concentration of reactant with respect to the change in time. So what is the final concentration? Final concentration is R2 minus R1 by R2 minus R1 by T2 minus T1. What is R2? This one 6 minus 10 by 20 minus 10. So you will be getting minus 4 by 10. So it is minus 2 by 5 moles per liter second. So this one, so it is representing in terms of graph. This is the R1 stage, this is the R2. Change in final concentration minus initial concentration, final time minus initial time. So that we will be getting rate of the reaction with respect to the concentration of the reactant. So this can be represented in terms of rate from the graph. Right? From the graph you are representing the rate of the reaction, and that rate is also called as average rate. Okay, you can have two different terms. Okay, from that higher minus lower or lower minus higher we will be getting the how much it changed. Why you are representing minus means it is getting disappeared. Minus indicates disappearance of reactant. Plus indicates the appearance of the reactant product. Right? Minus indicates the disappearance of the reactant, and plus indicates the formation of the product. Okay, this is what it is called as average rate of the reaction. Okay, suppose if the question is, let me get this. If I want instantaneous rate, if I want the instantaneous rate, so at that particular point of time, so instantaneous rate. What is mean by instantaneous rate? Suppose if you take a graph like this, the concentration of reactant like this, okay, reactant, and this is time. At this point, let me properly represent the graph. At this particular point, I want the rate. See, he is not mentioning the rate difference. He is asking at this particular point of time. So if you take time, this will be the particular point of time, right? Something will be getting. Okay. If he is asking the rate of the reaction at this particular point of time, then we will be drawing a tangent like this. So, like this point will be taking. Whatever the concentration present here and whatever the time present over here. If you do that one, you will be getting the rate of the reaction or instantaneous rate of the particular reaction. Getting me? Or otherwise, you can take angle here, positive side of the axis. Theta, then tan theta is nothing but slope. That gives the instantaneous rate of the particular reaction. Okay, generally this is y2 minus y1 by t2 minus t1 because we are getting on this y axis and this is x axis. So, and always this theta should be only the positive side of the line. Okay, then if you calculate, you can calculate the instantaneous rate of the reaction at that particular point in the graph. Average means you can do easily. Instantaneous means you should be having a particular point. Okay, and remember that this is a rate of reaction. Always I will represent it as ROR, rate of reaction. Okay, with respect to reactants it will be disappearing and with respect to products it will be appearing. Right. Rate of disappearance of reactant. Rate of disappearance of reactant. This is ROA. Rate of appearance of product. This is ROP. Okay. Rate of disappearance of product, it is P. ROP. Rate of rate of disappearance of reactant, ROA. Rate of appearance of product, ROP, and rate of reaction is always indicated with ROR. That's the way we will be getting them in the upcoming time or upcoming solving of problems. Okay, and remember if there is a difference or if you say that if there is a disappearance or if there is an appearance, always it is a positive value because the name itself is indicating appearance. Okay. Based on this, we shall solve some questions, students. Okay, students, look over the question here. N2 plus 3H2 gives rise to 2NH3. Okay, during the formation of ammonia, 2 moles of N2 disappear. Right? It is mentioning in 1 minute. In 1 minute, 2 moles is getting disappeared. Find the rate of reaction. Okay, see, try to pause the video and try to solve the question. 1, 2, 3. Right, I am solving this question. Solution. Right, for this reaction, how you can write? Rate of reaction is equal to nothing but minus 1 by 1 change in concentration of N2 with respect to change in time. If you want to take the magnitude. So minus 1 by 3 delta H2 by HT, so delta T plus 1 by 2 delta change in concentration of HT by change in time. Right. You keep this one aside. What is the 2 moles of N2? See what is meant by concentration? Concentration of N2, right? Concentration of N2 means moles per liter. If you take by time, this change. Concentration in moles per time by changing time. So 1 minute it is happening. What is concentration now? It is 2 moles per volume of vessel is 1 liter by changing time. How much the changing time? It is 1 minute. 1 minute means always in 60 seconds. So the answer will be 2 by 60. It will be 1 by 30. This is the change in concentration of N2 by N2. So N2 by T is the change in concentration per milliliter. Okay, what is asking? So this is the rate of the reaction. Rate of the reaction N2 by T. Okay, this is N2 by T. If rate of reaction is there, rate of reaction is equal to minus change in concentration of N2 by change in time. So minus change in concentration how much? 1 by 30. So minus 1 by 30 is the rate of reaction. Okay, next one, rate of disappearance of H2. Second one, rate of disappearance of H2. See, if you compare these two, okay, minus 1 by 3 dHT by minus 1 by 3 change in concentration of H2 by change in concentration of time is equal to this one. And this one, you know the value is 1 by 30. Okay, minus 1 by 30. This will be cancelled. So change in concentration of H2 with respect to change in time will be equal to 1 by 10. So this is the answer. Okay. Next, what is asking? Rate of appearance of NH3. So if you go for the third one, rate of appearance of NH3. Right? NH3 half time is equal to this one. Okay. So what you will get? NH3 by 10 should be equal to this one. Rate is what? Rate is nothing but 1 by 30. Okay. Right. Disappearance means further negative will be getting, and this is 1 by 2 of this one. So change in concentration with respect to NH3 with respect to time. So it is equal to 1 by 50. And this one, rate of reaction is minus 1 by 30. So you will be getting this is minus 1 by 30. Disappearance is always in minus, appearance is always in positive terms. Right? So this is the way of finding out the rate of disappearance or rate of formation of the products. And if you go for this reaction, 2A plus B gives rise to 3C. He is pointing out this particular point of time. Okay, this is 5th second. And he has drawn it and it is bisecting with an angle 30 over the x-axis. So then, in this condition, he is asking to find the rate of the reaction at 5th second. At 5th second, he is asking to find out the rate of the reaction. Second question is rate of disappearance of A at 5th second and rate of appearance of C. He is asking the formation of C. So generally, write the rate of the reaction for this. Rate will be equal to minus 1 by 2 change in concentration, or you can write as instantaneous rate. You can take like this also. dA by dt should be equal to minus 1 by 1 dB by dt. It is equal to plus 1 by 3 concentration by time. So this is the way of writing the equation. And how you can write? Find the rate of the reaction. So you can write for concentration is writing right. For concentration change as part of the law. So the change in concentration of B with respect to time. So it is 5th second. What is the change in concentration? So then you should go for our original value. Instead of going like this, you can take it as tan theta. So tan theta will be equal to dB by dt. What is theta value? Okay. See, it is bisecting here with 30 degrees. 30 degrees means you should always take the positive side of the axis. So this one, this angle will be 150. So tan 150 degrees is equal to dB by dt. Okay. Tan 150 how you can write? Tan 180 minus 30. So you will get it is equal to dB by dt. So it is minus tan 30 is equal to dB by dt. And minus tan 30 is 1 by root 2. So this is the change in concentration of B with respect to the time. Getting me? So this is the change in concentration of dB by dt. Okay, generally B is present here at reactant. Reactant means you should add minus itself. So what it becomes? dB by dt disappearance. It will be equal to 1 by 30. You are getting dV by dt disappearance 1 by 30. What is asking? He is asking the rate of disappearance of A. So rate of disappearance of A, how it is linked? These two. Okay. Then what happens? So this is not 1 by root 3. So dA by dt. What happens now? Rate of disappearance, it goes that side. So it becomes dA by dt disappearance. It will be equal to 2 by root. So these two in equation, you know that dV by minus dV by dt is equal to 1 by root 3. Disappearance. Disappearance in the name itself it is telling it is disappearing. It is negative only. Right? Again, if you take negative, it becomes positive. Okay, always the rate of disappearance and the rate of appearance will be positive only. But in our books, they have mentioned the negative. Okay, for disappearance, for positive it has been mentioned positive. For products it has been mentioned positive, for reactant it has been mentioned negative. But in the name itself says the rate of disappearance. Disappearance means negative. Rate of appearance it is positive. Okay? So in this case it is in this step you just follow our books itself. This is rate of disappearance means you take it as negative value. Next we go for the rate of appearance of C. So how these two are related? You know that disappearance is 1 by root 3. If you send it, so 1 by 3 dC by dt is equal to minus 1 by dt by dt how much? It is 1 by root 3. So dC by dt will be equal to 3 by root 3. So it will become equal to root 3. So this is the way of calculating the rate of formation or the rate of disappearance of the reactant or product. Now we shall go the factors that affect the rate of the reaction. Right, students? Okay, students, we are going to learn with respect to factors affecting rate of reaction. Okay, there are many factors that affect the rate of the reaction. First one, it is nature of the reactant. First one, nature of reactant. So, if the reactant is ionic compound, the rate of reaction is very higher when compared to the reactant having covalent compounds. Suppose we are having a reactant A having ionic bond, reactant B having covalent bonds. So among reactant A and reactant B, which are goes faster in the reaction? It is obviously A, because ionic bond doesn't have any overlapping of orbitals, so that those can be easily separated from one another, so that they form easily products. So reactant A forms product, reactant B forms product. So the rate is R1, the rate is R2 here. So R1 is very faster compared to the R2. So ionic reactions are very faster compared to the covalent reactions. This is the first condition. So that is the nature of the reactant. If the reactant is ionic in nature, the rate will be very higher compared to the compound having the covalent bonds. In the same way, if reactant B and reactant C, both this is having covalent bonds and this is having covalent bonds, among these two which will be faster? Means the reactant which is having lesser number of covalent bonds will be having faster rate. Clear? The reactant which is having lesser number of covalent bonds will be having greater the faster of reaction. Suppose let me take reactant B here. Reactant B, something it is undergoing like reaction. N2 plus 3H2, it should form 2NH. Okay, these are reactant B. Reactant C, something like CO, let me take CH4. CH4 plus CO2 forms CO2 plus H2. Okay, among these two, this is one reaction and this is one more reaction. Among these two, it should be having higher rate of reaction. See here also, Na are having like this H2. 3 H2s we are having. So this is the condition. All are covalent bonds only. In this condition, CH4 structure is like this, tetrahedral structure is sp3 abbreviation, and oxygen like this. Among these two, which will be having faster rate. Okay? Let me take this one. R1 and R. See, how many bonds should be broken to form product here? See, 3 bonds plus 4, 5, 6. So 6 bonds should be broken here. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? See, both are same, right? 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Both are same. Okay? Suppose let me take one more reactant. D. Any reaction shall take PCl5 undergoing PCl3 plus Cl. See, in this case, how many bonds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chlorine, chlorine. See, all are chlorine bonds only. So to break this require how many? 5 bonds. See, we have taken 3 reactants B, this is C, and reactant D. Among this, which one rate will be having faster? I am taking the rate here R1, here R2, and here R3. See, here the breakage of bonds 3 and 3 bonds, 6 bonds should be broken. Here 4, 5, 6, 6 bonds should be broken. Here 5 bonds should be broken. So breaking of 5 bonds is very fast compared to the 6 bonds. So the rate of R3 will be higher among the covalent molecules. So if it is between ionic and covalent, ionic reactions are having very faster rate. Among covalent and covalent, so lesser number of covalent bond will be having more rate of reaction compared to the covalent molecules having more number of covalent bonds. Right? This is what with respect to the nature of the reactant. Okay? Nature of the reactant means the type of bonds present among the reactors. It will decide the rate of the reaction. If the ionic bond is present, the ionic reactions are very faster compared to the covalent reactions. Among the covalent bonds, the molecules which are having lesser number of covalent bonds will be having more rate. Right? And the second condition is concentration of the reaction or concentration of the reactants. Second is concentration. Concentration of reactants. Okay? So let me take, there is a container. This is concentration C1. This C1 is 10 moles per liter and this C2 is 8 moles per liter. Same component, whatever the component is present, the same component is present, but the concentration is different. Okay, into gas or into liquid acid. For this you are adding H2. For this you are adding H2. Okay, equal amount of H2 you are adding. Equal amount. You are adding equal amount of H2 to 2 containers. One is having the concentration of 10 moles per liter and another is having the concentration of 8 moles per liter. In which the reaction will be very fast. So for the hydrogen to react, you should be getting more amount of the reactant molecules, right? But the hydrogen to react, the concentration will increase higher, easily there will be available of particles for the H2 to react. So whenever the concentration is higher, the rate will be higher. So the concentration is more, the availability of the reactants will be more for the reaction. So there will be easy formation of the products. So more is the concentration of the reactants, more will be the rate of formation of the products. So higher the concentration, higher the rate of the reaction. So second term that decides the factor that is affecting the rate of the reaction is concentration of the reactants. Next, third is surface area of reactant. Surface area of the reactant. It is very simple. I am taking a hot coffee here. Okay. Wait. Same amount I am taking in these 2 containers. Hot coffee without sugar. Okay. In this 10 gram crystal sugar. containers A and B. A container is having hot coffee for sugar and B container also the same. So what I am doing is into A container I am adding a crystal, a single crystal of 10 grams weight, and into another container B I am adding 10 grams only sugar which is in powder form, which will be mixing easily. See, easily mixing will be B. This powder will mix easily when compared to this one. Why? Means more, see, this one surface area, this one surface area, this one surface area, surface area, surface area, surface area. Here only this side, only one type of surface area you can see. So more surface area is exposed in this condition. So more dissolution of sugar is present in this condition. So more is the surface area exposed, more will be the rate of the reaction. Right? Third condition is temperature. So three finished, fourth is temperature. See, with respect to temperature, you will learn still detail. Till now, you remember that if temperature is increased, the rate becomes double, or the rate becomes doubles. This is up to 99% cases. In some conditions, it is even tripled. Okay? For every 10 degrees raise in temperature. If temperature increases, the rate of the reaction increases. How many times it increases for every 10 degrees? For every 10 degrees raise in temperature, the rate becomes double. In some cases, it is even tripled also. Right? Let me take one example. The rate at 25 degrees centigrade is 2. Okay? The rate of the reaction is 2 at 25 degrees centigrade. What happens to the rate at 75 degrees centigrade? Getting me? At 25 degrees centigrade, the rate of the reaction is 2. What is the rate of the reaction at 75 degrees centigrade? Past the way I am going to solve this. Okay, I am explaining this. See, 25 to 35. 10 degrees, 35 to 45, 45 to 55, 55 to 65, 65 to 75 degrees centigrade. Okay? See, here it is 2. For every, let us assume that if this rate is doubled. If rate is doubled, for every 10 degrees raise in temperature, and the rate is 2 at 25 degrees centigrade, what is the rate at 75 degrees centigrade? Okay? See, from 25 to 35, initial rate is 2, it is double. Double means it becomes 4. From 35 to 45, 4 becomes 8. 45 to 55, 8 becomes 16. 16 becomes 32. 32 becomes 64. So the rate becomes 64 times. See, for every 10 degrees temperature you should take. Don't take directly this one. 28 to 2, 4, 5, 32. Don't make it random. So 2 to 4, 4 to double, again double, again double, again double. So for every 10 degrees raise in temperature, 99% cases, the rate of the reaction is doubled. In some cases, it is tripled also. Right? So that is the factor. In temperature, we will be having still more. While going into depth into the topic, we will learn in detail. When we come across the Arrhenius equation, where Arrhenius equation based on the activation energy and based on the temperature. We will be learning in detail. Okay? Till now, you remember that for every 10 degrees raise in temperature, for every 10 degrees raise in temperature, the rate of reaction will be double in maximum cases. Right? And the next condition is catalyst. So, what condition I am drawing? This is the reaction, this is the phase, or you can go this is with respect to energy. Energy of the reaction with respect to phase. This is the reaction graph. Okay? Let me take it. So this is the energy you are taking on the y-axis and phase of the reaction. Phase of reaction. You are taking on the x-axis. See, this energy, whatever was this here you are having reactants and here you are having products. So this energy, this point energy is called as energy of reactants, and this part is called as energy of products. How can you remember? This is called as, this point point is called energy of the products. Products are formed. The product is having energy this much, so that energy of the products, energy of the reactants. For the formation of the product, the product should be formed. Then reactant should cross this barrier. This is called as threshold energy. Threshold energy barrier. If the reactant want to form product, it will not come directly from here to here. This is not the condition. The reactant will not directly get converted to the product. What happens? This reactant should increase its energy from here to, then it should become here, and goes to at some point, it reaches the highest point. Okay? This is the highest point of energy of the reactant. This point is the highest point energy of the reactant. That point is called as threshold energy. Getting me? For the reactant to get converted into product, the reactant should increase its energy level and it should reach to threshold energy level. Okay? Then only whenever the reactant reaches up to this level, it gets converted into product. It will not come directly from here to here. Okay? So this is the energy of the reactant. Here energy of the reactant, and this is the minimum energy required. Minimum energy required for the reactant to get converted to product is called as threshold energy. Okay, this difference, let me take this is 4, this is 6 and this is 10. Okay, this difference in energy is called as activation energy. So activation energy is nothing but, let me take the threshold energy minus energy of reactants. Okay, see, I am taking the energy graph here and this is the phase of the reaction. Reactant is getting converted into the product by going through the barrier called as threshold energy barrier. Okay, if it crosses this one, it forms product. The difference between the threshold energy barrier and the energy of the reactant is called as activation energy. So this is called as activation energy. If I want to convert, this is what's happening without catalyst. Without catalyst. Okay? Without catalyst, this is what happens. If I add catalyst, generally this is the diagram. If I add the catalyst, what happens is, this is the activation energy. From here, the energy of the reactant getting converted to the product. Okay? It has changed the path. If I add catalyst, the path of the reaction is changed. So that what's happening? The activation energy. Now the activation energy is this one. This is the maximum point. So this is the maximum point for this one. With the catalyst. If you are having catalyst, the activation energy is decreased. So what happens to the rate of the reaction? The rate of the reaction increases. It becomes fast. So if we use positive catalyst. Positive catalyst is the one which decreases activation energy. Positive catalyst means decreases activation energy. If we use positive catalyst, the rate increases. In the same contour, if we use negative catalyst, the activation energy will be increased. The rate decreases. So generally 99% we will not talk this one. We will talk only this one. Okay? This is the activation energy for positive catalyst. See, if you use negative catalyst, what happens? It becomes like this. And this is the activation energy for negative catalyst. See what happens? Generally, we are talking with respect to positive catalyst. This is the part of the reaction. It is having some activation energy. Activation energy is nothing but threshold energy minus energy of the reactants. If you use catalyst, what happens? The activation energy is decreased. It is reduced. Okay? Why it is reduced? It means it is changing the path of the reaction. If it changes the path of the reaction, the lesser the activation energy is decreased, so that the rate of the reaction will be very, very faster. So this is the effect of the catalyst. And if you go for the physical state of reactant. If you go for the physical state, if you take gas, liquid, So which will react very fastly. It is very simple that gases will be having more rate of reaction compared to the liquids, compared to the solids. Simple. So these are the factors what we have learned till now with respect to the effects. Okay. One more is light or intensity of the light. Intensity of light. There are some reactants which only on presence of the light will occur. Suppose if you are having CO2 plus H2O, it should form C6H12 O6. When it forms generally, no, if you are having only these two reactors, the product is not formed. It requires light. CO2 plus H2O, it gets converted to the C6H12O6. Only this reactant gets converted to the product depending upon the amount of the light. If light is not there, there is no product formation of the product. So this entire reaction is depending upon what? It is depending upon the light. If more is the amount of the light, more will be the formation of the product. So such type of reactions they depend upon the intensity of the light. Okay? That reactions are also called as zero order reactions. Tomorrow we will be learning with respect to two orders also, zero order, first order, second order. Up to now you remember any reaction which depends upon the intensity of the light are called as zero order reaction. So these are the factors that on which the rate of the reaction depends. Right? Once again I am recalling all the factors. Okay? On which the rate of the reaction is getting dependent. So the first factor is nature of reactant. So it may be ionic or covalent. Second, it is concentration of reactants. More concentration, more rate. Okay. Next, the third one, it is surface area. More surface area, more rate. Fourth, it is temperature. For every 10 degrees raise in temperature, okay, the rate doubles. Next, fifth factor, surface area finished. Next is intensity of the light. And sixth is what is that? Catalyst. If you take positive catalyst, the rate is increased. So what happens? Activation energy increases, rate decreases. So simply can write rate of reaction proportional to the intensity of light proportional to the more ionic bonds proportional to the lesser number of covalent bonds. So lesser number of covalent bonds, lesser number of covalent bonds will be the rate. Directly proportional to the temperature, directly proportional to the surface area, and inversely proportional to the activation energy. So this is the entire relation where the factors on which the rate of the reaction is getting dependent. Okay, these are the factors. Once you retain all the concepts, whatever you have learned in this session, so we will be meeting in the next class with respect to zero order and how to write the rate equation, order, molecularity, first order, second order, third order, with respect to order. We will be having exams also. Okay, prepare well, students. Stay home, stay safe. Have a nice day. Bye.